friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And the Enforcer.
And welcome to our predictions here at Friendo Club TV. Yeah. Of course, Friendo Club TV is sort of the place where we got the sillier, goofier, smaller stuff, but we also talk about wrestling here. Yep. We just do it in a shorter format. And this year, 2022, we're doing something kind of different. We've had this month long, we called the Friendo G1 of predictions.
Yeah. Where
the points accumulation is the game. And yes, Larson, you have your hand up, and you got a sour look on your face.
If this is the Friendo G1, then I'm like Yujiro Takahashi here. You know?
Yeah.
I am way out of it at this juncture.
Yeah.
This is a two-man race between Steve and Enforcer, so have at it. I'm going to put my goofy hat on here. And have fun with it.
Here's the thing. So this is going to serve two purposes. Number one, we are going to talk a little bit about the G1 prediction stuff.
Yeah.
But as with all of our predictions, we aren't locked into our picks until the actual show itself. So I think that really what this is more of a preview of the Royal Rumble, where we think these matches are going to be headed, not necessarily. Because I think, Larson, for you to have any chance, you actually do have a chance mathematically if you just pick exactly the opposite of like both of us. Like
basically every match
go with Dewdrop.
Yeah, and I get them all right.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I'll be completely honest with you. Besides Becky Lynch versus Dewdrop, probably Edge and Beth is a lock, but even that I don't necessarily know is an actual lock. Beyond that,
pretty close to a lock. They're not going to have Beth Phoenix lose her first match back.
Roman and Seth is probably going to go Roman.
Yeah.
Brock, Bobby's probably going to go Brock. We got the women's rumble, we got the men's rumble. I don't know. I still kind of feel like it's anybody's game. But let's go to what match we're going to talk about first.
Let's start off with, I wouldn't be surprised if this match opens the show. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE title.
That's true.
I would not be surprised if this starts the show, because if either way, if Brock wins or loses, he might put himself in the Rumble to get that match against Roman that he wants. So this one's tough. I don't think they're going to have either Brock or Roman lose on the road to WrestleMania, because I think they want both of them going to that match looking strong. That being said, if he overbooks stuff enough, it's a protected loss. You could have Heyman accidentally cost Brock this match because he's still, working for Roman. There's a bunch of different ways they can go about it. And if it wasn't for, I think, Meltzer reporting that they weren't planning to do, or Alvarez, someone at Wrestling Observer, if it wasn't for Wrestling Observer saying they weren't planning to do title versus title, I think they're definitely going to do title versus title. I'm going to say Brock wins this. Brock wins.
I'm with you. I think Brock wins. I think they're going to do title versus title. They did it in 2019. They did winner takes all. That's what they're going to build this as. Winner takes all. And Brock's going to go off into the sunset, and Roman's going to be double champion. Because I don't see Brock losing. You still have a lot of things that could happen, by the way, between the Rumble and WrestleMania. There's still Elimination Chamber, or the whatever they're going to call it in Saudi Arabia, the Ultimate Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania Elimination Chamber, whatever it's going to be. You've got that where a title change could theoretically happen. I just don't see it happening. I think Brock is going to win this, and somehow, some way, he's going to get, maybe through the Rumble, he's going to get, it at that point, it would have to be the Rumble. Yeah. He would have to win that then. So I'm gonna go kind of all the way with Brock, because here's the thing also, if Heyman were to cause him to lose, and Heyman were to flip sides to Roman, I guess that would motivate Brock going after Roman, as opposed to the obvious thing, which is just a rematch for his title, which would seem to make more sense. But I guess he would be going after Heyman, the guy who screwed him out of the title. Enforcer, what do you think? Where are you going?
Well, they did get a pay-per-view out of the way in between Rumble and Mania, but Mania is still 2 nights. Okay, so. In all honesty, if Brock holds on to the belt, which I think he possibly could, but then again, also that Rumble lingering out there as well, night 1 of Mania, night 2 of Mania as well. If it is title versus title, what's the men's winner going to be unless it's either Brock or Roman, unless somebody fights somebody on night one to get you to the end. So there's a lot of still fluid motion stuff that's going on. But honestly, I still think that Brock is probably going to come out of that match with Lashley still holding that belt. Absolutely.
Next up,
you want to go? Let's do Edge and Beth Phoenix taking on Miz and Maurice. This is one of two matches that I feel like is pretty much a lock. Like I said earlier, they're not going to have Beth lose, which I think is her first non-Rumble match back.
Yeah.
You know, in the last few years. I know Miz and Maurice have tried some mind games. They really worked that well out for them.
Well, there was the brick. The brick is the thing.
Yeah.
The brick
yeah,
is
brick was like the lone thing. The brick was the one W that Miz and Maurice had on Edge and Beth, pretty much.
And because it's so far been the biggest dub, it's been the biggest thing. It's like, I mean, you know, she crushed her head with a brick. That's like a lot bigger than like, taunting people or beating up security.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Edge and Beth definitely win here because of the brick. The go home math doesn't matter in this case. That's just to say, hey, Beth is back. She's ready. She doesn't have brain damage, so she can. She's good to go. She got hit in the head with a brick. That's entirely possible.
And then she showed up the next week and looked perfectly fine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The great couple looks great. I don't
know. I mean, this, if they want to extend this on to, because this is still Rumble. Are we going to have this continue on through? Once again, through this Ultimate Elimination Chamber date, whatever the hell the thing is, and then WrestleMania. Normally, I'd be with you. Yeah, WrestleMania, you get the big faces. Beth Phoenix get that big win. If they want to extend this on through, what is Edge doing? What is Miz going to be doing all throughout? Does this continue on for months and months? Does this start with Miz and Maurice getting a BS roll-up win to continue on with this feud? Who knows? If this was Mania, for sure, I would think it was a lock. Still, that 2% botch of everyone expecting them to win could come into play, but I'm not saying that it will, though.
All right, what's next?
Let's do the Women's Rumble next. Who do you got?
Oh, man.
Once again, there's a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
If Ronda's in it, I feel like she's going to win it.
Yep, she probably wins it.
If she's not, there's one name that seems obvious, another name that I'd love to see, and another name that I could see as a possibility. And those names are Ronda Rousey. If she's in it, she's going to win it. Bianca Belair would be my second pick because that's the big story with Becky. That's the night one main event of WrestleMania right there. If otherwise, possibly Charlotte or Naomi, I think, are also picks. There's another name as well that I think is really interesting, and that's Lita. I could see them thinking that Lita versus Charlotte is a big WrestleMania match. And if Lita's been training lately, and I know she just enough for the Rumble probably, but maybe she's training to come back for a run for a couple months to go to Mania. I think Lita, that would pop the crowd huge. It would be a really fun moment. It's already set up with her and Charlotte for that to be a match as opposed to like Becky. And then Bianca could win the number one contender spot at like Elimination Chamber on Raw or something. So that's a lot of names right there. It's gonna be one of them. But if Ronda's in it, she's gonna Ronda. It's gonna be Ronda Rousey.
Right. How about you?
Be there, she's gonna win.
Yeah, that tends to be what I think is the smart money. If you hear that Joan Jett music, forget it. It's over. It's done. She's got the win. She's pointing at the sign. Honestly, just for a payoff for what we've been seeing for months, I would like to see Naomi win this. Absolutely.
I would love that. I would love that.
Not saying that it will. That's just my heart saying it. But I really think it's Ronda. If not, it's Bianca. Or, once again, does Charlotte win this thing? And then she calls who she wants to do this. You know, that could be well within the realm of what's going on as well. But
right, pick one.
Ronda.
Larson, pick one.
I'll say Charlotte. I say Charlotte wins. I say Naomi actually wins. Sonya comes out, overturns it. Charlotte wins, and then calls out Ronda.
All right. All right. I like it.
That's actually the one pick I'll make during the show that I'll probably actually make during the pay-per-view itself.
Oh, that's a big move right there.
Or
I'm sure you put a lot of points on it.
I'm gonna have
to. Need to.
I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have.
Next, Raw Women's Championship: Becky Lynch versus Doudrop. Doudrop's been doing awesome work.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's really any chance she has to win this. This is Becky's belt to carry into WrestleMania.
Correct.
Don't need to say anything else.
All right, very well.
I'm there with you. Moving on.
So I guess what's going to be interesting is what main events. Is it going to be the men's rumble or is it going to be Roman versus Seth? Because it ends up being the men's rumble. It's a bit more wide open as far as who's going to be in it, because it's entirely possible, depending on how both the WWE title and the Universal title match go, that we can see either Brock or Roman in the rumble. So, but for the sake of discussion here, we'll go with the men's rumble first. Who do you guys got?
I got Brock. I think it motivates him versus Roman. I think if anybody else wins it, it throws off WrestleMania. Unless Brock loses, which I just don't see happening. I go with Brock.
Man, that seems to be the pick there. I mean, I'm loving this Brock that we're having here. Engaged Brock is a fun Brock. Normally, when I see Brock, I groan. Okay, I go, oh, God, he's about to choke off the main event scene, right? But I'm entertained. He seems engaged. Roman would probably benefit the most from that title versus title thing, which makes me think Brock wouldn't be in the Rumble, but sadly, I'd probably go with Brock, because even if he's a champ and he wins the belt, that gets even more of a big caveat for Roman when he finally takes him down, too.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably be Brock, one way or the other, whether he wins or loses against Lashley. Yeah. Though if he does lose, there's an opening, I think, for someone else to win the Rumble.
Yeah. If he loses to Lashley, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, and I think that
I think it'll be Big E.
It'll be Big E. Yes.
Yeah.
Every year for the past, at least going back to 2017, a Rumble has main evented.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
It's been men's and with the exception of the women's Rumble.
Yeah,
the year it debuted.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, where Rousey debuted came out
at the end.
Yeah. So I mean, I know this is a different year, and with the Brock Roman situation, that there is the possibility that it could end up being, a Roman Seth main event as opposed to the Rumble. But if history's any indication, we're going to main event with a Rumble, and it'd probably be the men's if you're going to have a big surprise like Brock showing up, or even I guess Roman,
or Roman, depending how this match works out. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. Enforcer, who do you got?
I would love to see Seth win it. I love what Seth is doing. His attire, everything he's doing, I am vibing with. That being said, it has to be Roman, I would think, as much as I would love to, unless it is going to be one belt. Seth takes that on over to Raw, and then it is Brock retains, Roman wins the Rumble, then you get your match that you originally wanted. Now, if that's what they originally wanted, I would go heavy with Seth, because that, who knows Seth other than Mox? Who knows Roman better than Seth? Right, and he always wins when he beats him or fights him. So, but honestly, I think Roman's got this one on lockdown.
Yeah, it's going to be Roman. They talk so much about Seth having beaten Roman every single time, and that's sort of, I think, the key is that Roman Reigns is still, and they're pretty good at sort of misdirection, making you think that, it's a possibility. Sometimes, like if he's fighting Cesaro, it's a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
But like with this, it's like, it could be, maybe Seth. He's beaten him a lot before, but they're like, wait a second, no, he's beating him every time? Okay, no. They're still doing a thing where Roman is checking off everybody that he hasn't beat, everybody that he's yet to beat, past, occurrences and stuff. So this is just, in my opinion, one of those. I think that if there's going to be any match, like Roman's going to have this title at least through WrestleMania, and Brock is the guy that they are going to check off at WrestleMania for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, at the very least, for the Universal title, maybe even for both titles.
Yeah. So if we go back to the report, again, who knows if those are true, and if so, if they haven't completely rewritten everything. The plan at WrestleMania was Roman and Brock, and then Seth versus Big E. Now, if they still want to get there to those two matches, Seth has to win at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Has to. And then you have to do some championship switching around, because I know Seth said he's taking the title back to Raw. Well, I guess that means I keep hitting myself in the face with these damn ears. That means Brock has to move over to SmackDown. I don't know how they exactly motivate that, but whatever. I'm sure they would come up with some way.
Championship.
Like really
what they do with Bianca and with Becky and Charlotte.
Oh, the exchange.
The championship exchange.
Yeah, the exchange.
Just walking catering. Oh, I'll take this belt.
I guess it depends based on what happened at day one, how much they had to rewrite their plans and what the fallout of that was.
Yeah.
And if the fallout of that was, all right, we're not going to do Seth versus Big E for a title at Mania. We're going to do title for title. So be it. And then I guess that's off the table and they're going forward with something else. But I have a hard time believing Roman's going to lose. I think you're right, Steve. They put Seth up against him because he could check that one off of someone that he hasn't beat yet.
Yeah.
That being said, I have in the back of my mind, there's a possibility, even a slight one, that Seth is going to walk out with that belt.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Roman's probably going to win.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be live on the twitch.tv/Steven Larson for the coronation of the Big Red Champion. And man,
I look forward to having it. Yes.
Oh, wow. That's the go. That's the go home right there. I'm just hoping for a competitive victory. I'm just hoping to really try my darndest.
Put your hands to the belt before the go home, man.
I'm just really trying my darndest here.
With the guy who's got Big Red Champ sitting on his thing.
Oh, what you're talking about? I have no idea.
Of course, they can't see it. I know.
My name is
here. I'll hover over our window, then maybe they can see all our names. This go home math for Big Red just got way more complicated.
I tell you,
maybe I'm the dark horse after all. Come on, Dewdrop, get this win.
It's like we destroyed each other, and then Larson climbs up the ladder.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'd be like AJ, I get the briefcase and drop it.
Yeah. Or it's like as I'm knocked out, I'm just there sleeping. Normally, I win these when I sleep. So
when you sleep, exactly.
The only reason I'm even in this is because I slept through night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom and fucking swept that. So let's see if that happens again. I'll just be here teeping.
All right, everybody. That's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Drop us your predictions.
Yes,
Let us know who you think is going to come out of these Rumbles. Yeah.
Yep.
Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.